Hello and welcome to another exciting permanent ankle shackle vlog. As you can see written on my left sole, this is day 44 of my permanent ankle shackles, and as you saw printed on the screen, I'm going to be talking about my recent major contract violation. By the time you're seeing this, you've probably already watched my Life in Permanent Shackles rivet change video. That is the video where I actually violated my contract. Now, the contract that I'm in is extremely aggressive, very strict. It requires that I be shackled and barefoot for a minimum of 100 days at this point. This is if I don't accrue any extensions from one of the many violations that I can commit in this contract. Being the biggest one, of course, unshackling before I'm allowed to be unshackled. And this was the violation that I made in that video. If you watch that video, you'll see that I'm trying to remove the rivets as I'm supposed to be. I'm under supervision. My third party is watching me do this. It's all being recorded. And I was ordered that shackles cannot come off my ankles. They have to stay on. And I have to drill out the current rivets and put in the new ones. Now, the new ones, regardless of the original intent of the contract, was that the new ones be RFID. The RFID tags were to ensure that I couldn't remove the shackles between inspections. The third party doesn't live with me. He is allowed to make surprise visits and inspect my shackles at any time, day or night. He doesn't have to knock. He can enter my house. I'm basically under parole. So he can come in and inspect my shackles at any time. And the purpose of the RFID rivets was to ensure that I couldn't just buy a drill off of Amazon and drill out the rivets, and after he left for his inspection, and be free from the shackles until I saw him coming down the road, I could put him back in. This way, the RFID would put off a unique identifier so that he would know that if they were changed out, that I would be in violation. It didn't work out that way. There are no RFID rivets. There was a mistake. He misread. The rivets were to install or attach an RFID tag. Regardless of that mistake, he has in full rights to make me put the new rivets in. The new rivets fit better, and we decided it would be better just to swap out the old ones and put the new ones in anyway. He could watch me do it, make sure that they were being put in properly so that I couldn't free myself afterwards, and ensure that they were secure and keeping the shackles permanently locked around my ankles. So in the process of this, I was drilling out the old rivet on the first ankle. That was my left ankle, and the rivets just weren't coming out. These are still rivets. They're designed to be put in and left in forever, and they just did not. They were not cooperating, or that particular rivet wasn't. So I was drilling it. It turned out that the drill bit that I was using might have been just a little bit too small, so we swapped it out with a larger one, and I finally released my ankle from that rivet, but the rivet was still stuck in the shackle. So, not thinking, I just removed the shackle so I could get a better vantage point, and I could get in there and really put some pressure behind it. And removing that shackle violated my contract. It's a major violation. That violation requires that I remain shackled for an additional 2 years. There's no exceptions. I have to be shackled for an additional 2 years from removing that shackle. So at the time of this recording, I am legally bound and required to remain shackled for a total of 796 days. Now, of course, there are extenuating circumstances in this case. I wasn't trying to free myself. I didn't take advantage of that freedom. I wasn't walking with the shackles off. I was working on removing the rivet. The other ankle was shackled the whole time. If you watch the video, you'll see that the other rivet came out. That shackle did not leave my ankle, and the new rivet was put in. So There are extenuating circumstances, and there is one stipulation in the contract which allows me to unshackle, which is under emergency reasons. Now, if I were to have an emergency reason for unshackling, after that crisis has ended, I would have to restart my contract. Whatever time that was existing on the contract would have to be restarted, in this case 100 days. So my third party, he hasn't made this decision yet, and until he does, I'm bound to be shackled for 796 days. There's no way around it until he makes his decision. He has expressed an interest in just restarting my contract, whether that's going to be at the time of his decision, restarting it from that point, or restarting it from the actual violation. If that is the case, instead of being shackled for an additional 2 years, I will be shackled for an additional 43 days. Basically restarting my 100 days on that violation date, or at a time of his choosing. If he may just say, well, you're just going to have 100 extra days and I'll have to stay shackled for 200 days. It's completely up to him at this point, and I'm at mercy of his generosity and his leniency. He has no obligation to free me from that 2 weeks, that 2 years. He could basically make no decision at this point, and I would be bound to and required to remain shackled for 796 days. And this is if he makes no decision at all. So I'm kind of in the air right now. He hasn't made a decision, so I am going to be shackled for 796 days at this point. Now, I have hopes that he will take into consideration the situation and either reset my time from the violation, and I'll just be shackled for an extra 43 days, ending at 143. Now, just to put in perspective on how generous he would have to be to give me that option, the contract is very strict, very aggressive. For instance, the barefoot rule. Let's say he leaves me shackled for 2 years, beyond my first 100, and I have to work in my shop, and it's the middle of winter. My shop is about, I would say, 150 feet away from my house. So that means in the middle of winter, I have to walk barefoot on ice and snow along a gravel path to a shop with freezing cold concrete floors, and then stand shackled barefoot and work all day with bare feet on freezing cold floors. If I decide that I don't want to do that one day, and I decide to put on my flip-flops, which is my primary shoe, I generally only wear flip-flops. In some cases, I'll wear Crocs if there's snow outside. But let's say I decide I don't want my feet to be freezing cold all day, and I put on flip-flops. It's a 60-day extension automatically. The second the soles of my bare feet touch the insoles of those flip-flops, I've committed a violation that requires me to be shackled for an additional 60 days. If I miss one vlog day, if you don't see my feet as you do now with the day, how many days I've been shackled written on the left sole of my foot, in a video at least 2 minutes long, for every single day that I'm shackled, it'll be a 30-day extension. So just to give you an idea of the minor violations, are 30 days and 60 days, and even more in some cases. For instance, if I violate an inspection, if I'm in the shower and I have soap in my hair and he knocks on the door and says, inspection, and I say, just a minute, let me rinse out my hair, instant 60-day violation, 60-day extension. The only option I have for when he orders me for inspection is to immediately comply. I wouldn't even be able to put on my clothes. I'd have to get out of the shower and make my feet available for that inspection until he give me permission to not be under inspection. So that's a 60-day violation. So the level of generosity that I'm looking for at this point is extremely high. The fact that just the soles of my bare feet touching flip-flops is a 30-day violation. And the biggest violation possible in this contract has been violated. To get 43 days or 44 days that we just decided today would be extremely generous. It's just, I don't know. I mean, I'm hoping he does. I'm hoping he gives me some leniency on this, but at this point, based on the contract, I am going to be shackled for 700 and actually I've been doing my math wrong. It's 786 days if it were to start today. So anyway, I'll let you know. I'll let you know what's going on. Of course, be sure to follow my blog on shackledbarefeet.wordpress.com. The link should be below. I post a lot more information there, and it's also current. These vlogs only get posted like every. This won't be posted for like a day and a half. So when you're seeing this, the blog at that website has already been updated for a day or two. So anyway, be sure to subscribe, like, comment below, and share the videos. And I will see you tomorrow for day 45 of my new 786 day of shackling, permanent shackling. So hopefully tomorrow I'll have better news. But for now, you're gonna be seeing 786 more of these videos. Hopefully not, but just in case, just be prepared. And thank you again for watching. I'll see you tomorrow. Goodbye.